Hi, everybody. I'm Celia Milton, and I'm a wedding officiant from North Jersey with my partner here, Andrea Pertel, who covers South Jersey. Together, we've got the whole state covered for you, so don't worry about that. We have a very special guest this morning. We're happy to welcome Tina Handal, who is the Director of Sales and Client Development for Danaro Limousine. I had the pleasure of meeting Tina at an event from one of our other favorite people, Bride Lawyer, and she's got a great personality, and she's a lot of fun to work with, which is good if you're running a company, I think. She eases the stress of engaged couples by working directly with them to create personalized itineraries and manage all the logistics, providing them and their families and guests with a unique luxury transportation experience on their wedding day. People don't realize how important transportation is on their wedding day, because if you are late, everything else is late, and that will not happen with this company. Our friends at Bride Lawyer absolutely raved about them. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. They've got great drivers. We're going to talk more about that too. I'm just going to let Tina talk. How are you, Tina? What's going on?
Hi, thank you so much for having us on. It is such an honor. How are you guys doing?
Great, thank you.
Right.
And thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having us.
So tell us about your company, how you got started, and what's going on, and maybe is there some trends? I'll let you talk.
Well, okay. So basically, I've been doing events for, as an event planner, I've been doing events for maybe like 30 years now. But I got into the limousine industry on the vendor side about 10 years ago. And the owner of this limousine, I was working with another company, and the owner of this company, we would get the Rolls Royce from him, and he had come in. And, I just always knew that I was going to work with him one day. As from the minute he walked in, I was like, you know what? Just the way it's very hard to find people like this in the limousine industry. He's very honorable. He's very true to his word. And I just wanted to work for someone like that. So lo and behold, a couple of years later, I went over to work with him. He's absolutely amazing. He started his first limousine company in 2003 with just one vehicle. Within 2 years, that company expanded to a fleet of 33 vehicles.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. And then he sold that company in 2015. His name is Mr. James O'Toole, and he acquired Danaro Limousine in 2016. It had 11 vehicles, and now today we have 22.
Wow. Wow. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Tell us about the fleet. What do you offer? What types of vehicles?
Well, we have vintage and, your modern luxury, like your Rolls Royce antique for the brides who want that vintage experience, that one of a kind.
Yeah.
And then we have our more modern Rolls Royce, the Phantom, and we have, your other luxury vehicles like your Bentley Mulsanne and your Mercedes S-Class, things like that. Then we have your stretch limousines from 10 people to 18. The one stretch limousine I love, it's an Escalade and it has the jet door. And
Cool.
what's
a jet door?
the jet door is a door that opens up from the bottom to the top.
Those are so cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so it not only gives access, like for people who have a hard time, imagine going into an 18-passenger stretch limousine and you have to go all the way down to the end,
Right.
So it has the two doors in the back and then the jet door that you can go into. So it gives like a three-way access into the car.
That's cool.
And the jet door, when it goes up with the fiber optic lighting, is so cool.
Oh,
That's neat.
yeah.
Yeah. And then we have the party buses, 28 to 45, 50 people. Then we have the coach buses and your Sprinter vans. And yeah, it's a pretty large fleet. It's very diverse.
Yeah. Having the luxury vehicles, you have to get there. You have to get to the wedding or the event somehow. It's part of the experience. It's kind of the beginning of the experience.
Yeah.
It's a party in itself, right?
Yeah. No, it really is, with the fiber optic lighting and, you've got your coolers in there. You can bring your, whatever alcohol it is you want. But it's also, like in the Sprinter vans, we have the TV and it has your Roku stick where you could, if you're on go, even not only for a wedding, like if they want to use it for their bachelor parties, it's got TV, they can put a show on or music on or a comedy show or whatever, and the table. And it's definitely, I tell people you're not renting a limousine, like you just said, you're renting an experience. It's an actual experience. And we don't have we don't have drivers, we have chauffeurs. Like a driver is a person who would drive your car. You've got your Uber, your taxis. A chauffeur is a person who gives you the experience. So that's what we offer.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. And I think, for your average people, I mean, and I used to travel a lot, but I've only been in a limousine maybe 4 times. So I think it's really kind of fun, and definitely safer for, you mentioned the bachelor parties and, even like after parties and bachelorettes. That is definitely something to keep in mind too. That's not the glamorous side of it, but it's, it makes it worry free for everybody.
Exactly. Because you want not only the experience, but you want that designated driver too, want to feel safe. And, our chauffeur has us, we got this.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, you want your guests to be able to come to your wedding, enjoy it, and just, you want to feel at ease. So basically what I tell the brides is, I got to tell you, it's difficult. For me, being an event planner, it's easy. So I took my experience and brought it into this company.
Yeah.
But for brides, I mean, they're just starting out. This is not something they do for a living. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's hard. It gets overwhelming for them. Like, they're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get 100 people to the church? And then there's 30 minutes here. And then how am I going to do the after party? There's so many logistics that go into it, and people don't realize that. So the way I start off is I say, okay, I listen. Tell me exactly what your thoughts are. Like, because their first question is, okay, what are your packages? I'm like, no. Don't ask about the packages. Make believe there aren't any. There aren't. Just tell me what it is you need. How many people are we transporting? Where do we need to take them from point A to point B? How many people? Because sometimes people think, I'm telling you guys, like, they get overwhelmed, I think, mostly because they think, oh my God, I need one car for the girls. I need one car for the guys. I need one. And I'm like, no. You need to optimize the vehicles as much as possible to make it the best economical solution. So utilize one vehicle to pick up the guys, drop them off, pick up the girls, drop them off. So it saves you money,
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, sometimes with the guests, like with the shuttles, where if they need like shuttles for 100 people in the beginning, and let's say there's a large distance, like 20 minutes going, you cannot do the 2 loops because then the first people wait for an hour, So the logistics are a lot. So what I tell them is use the bridal party car to do the first loop of shuttles for your guests to save money. So you don't have to buy 2 shuttles, And then at the end of the night, you always have people who want to leave earlier or people who don't want to stay for an after party.
Yeah.
So we'll use the shuttle to shuttle them, and then we'll come back for that second loop. So basically, from the start, I say, I listen to them. Tell me exactly what your needs are, who's transported, how many people, what times. I take that information, I sit on it for a second, and then I give them what the options are.
How do you handle, because weddings are different, and you spoke about logistics, and I know being a planner, your background as a planner probably helps this so much because weddings are different. They are a timeline. And how do you handle when you're shuttling guests and they're on a timeline, the ceremony starts at a certain time, cocktail is a certain time, and you have to be on time. How do you handle maybe waiting, people being late, and it's not your fault, it's them. So you're trying to be, nice and friendly, and let's get this all done. But then you have this one couple that you can't wait for them. What do you do?
Yeah, that becomes an issue. I mean, one of the first few things I tell the brides are, the couples are, from a logistics standpoint, from a realistic logistical standpoint, you can control only what you can control. Whatever you cannot control at that point, you need to make the best out of it and set it free. There's only so much you can do.
Right. Because
there's only so much.
Your obligation is to the couple and being in a timely manner, not to the person who's running late.
Yeah, so it's honoring the contract that was made. So basically, I start off telling them that, and then I also tell them, and this is the event planner in me, I tell them, let me give you just a little bit of advice if you want. put on your invitations, whether on there, another additional paper in there, whether, whatever it is. And then if you're going to do an RSVP online, put this information on there as well. If you're going to do, I don't know how you're going to do your RSVPs. If you're going to text them, if text reminders, also put it in the hotel when they come in their bag, put it in the bag so they have it. And what I'm telling them to do in those 3 places is this. A guest shuttle will be provided to transport the guests from the hotel to the venue or whatever it is, The shuttle will be departing sharply 5 p.m. Please make sure you are in the lobby at 4:15 p.m. and ready to go. Done.
Yeah.
This way they know ahead of time. They know it's going to be leaving. And never put a time on the second loop.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because if you put a time on the second loop, you've got the people that are just going to chill and hang out at the bar or, for
Right.
something.
That's
And
very smart.
everybody's going to go on the second loop, and then, yeah,
It's a mess. Yeah.
and that's not good. So that's the big, the preliminary, logistics. Now on the day of, if it comes to the point, like I ask them, how long do you want us to wait past that time? Some people say, I don't care. If they're not there at 5 o'clock, you must leave.
Yeah.
Some people will say, you know what? Let's give them additional 5 minutes. Let's wait 5 minutes and then leave. Because if you're doing 2 loops, those people the second loop are going to miss. So whatever time that they tell me to wait, 5 minutes or 10 minutes or just leave, is what we do.
Yeah.
And there have been times where there was no one there. Like we had a wedding a couple weeks ago, and it was a first loop. And we called the wedding planner. My chauffeur goes into the hotel and says, listen, I'm the chauffeur for Danaro Limousine. Our shuttle is outside. And, we're waiting. So there was nobody there. And 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, lo and behold, you ready for this? 35 minutes later.
Oh my God.
No one came down.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And at that point, it was 20 minutes away. So you're talking 20 minutes going, 20 minutes coming back. So now we're at the point of the start of what the second loop was supposed to be. So when people came down, we fit them into that bus, and those people made it on time. We came back anyway for the second loop.
Yeah.
Okay. And we brought those people there, but they tried to delay the ceremony as much as they could, and they couldn't. So those people made it only halfway through that ceremony.
Right.
So they missed the ceremony.
We hear that sometimes. I'll be at a venue and it'll be, then you'll hear, you're thinking you're about to start the ceremony, and then you'll hear people, it's running late. They're running late. And you're like, oh no, but yeah. And you can only hold it for so long. So,
you know what the thing is, like, something's got to give. And I have a lot of time discussions with our clients. If your ceremony starts late, your reception is going to be shorter. There's just no two ways about it. And you're paying a lot of money. Well, why are you waiting for one person who couldn't get their act together to get on that shuttle when we figured it out by the, like, dollar wise. And it came out, and this is a long time ago too. It came out to something like, for 20 minutes of being late, they're losing thousands of dollars. And hors d'oeuvres and service. It's like, there is nobody that I know that I would wait for that way. You just get your sorry self to my wedding on time.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, really, that's what it is. And then there have been, yeah. As I said, there's only so much you can control.
Right. It's funny, being in the wedding industry, you always think that everything's going to be smooth. But I tell you, I think we all have stories. We all have stories.
Yeah.
And funny ones, good ones, stuff. I see a lot of limos or party buses with the wedding party and their family driving around for photos beforehand too. They fit that into their timeline. They'll go to certain spots here where I live. A big place is Spring Lake, to take pictures on the bridge and things like that. I'm sure you guys are able to work that in to a timeline as well. Yeah.
Yeah. What we normally do is we pick up the men and we take them to the location where the first look is going to be. And then we pick up the girls and we take them to the location with that same vehicle. And then with the lead car, we take the lead car and bring the bride, so that the bride is coming with an entrance to make that first look. And when we do that, they have their first look, and then our vehicle, like if we do a Rolls Royce, the chauffeur will wait there for them to do their first look. And then, because most likely the ceremony would be at that location. And then if it's at the first look is at the venue. And then the chauffeur will wait. And then when they're done doing the first look and everything, the chauffeur will use that as an opportunity to put out the red carpet and do like this champagne toast. So they have this beautiful photo op, with the car before the chauffeur leaves. Right. Now, if the first look is done at a location and then they go to do their ceremony, so they'll do that first look. And then my chauffeur, the groom, will go back with the whole bridal party in that one bridal party car. And then the bride with the chauffeur will then go to the church or to the venue where they do the ceremony. So this way she's still making her entrance, even though they already had her first look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, you get that.
You know what I mean? Was that like...
Uh-huh. And you guys are located in, is it Carlstadt, New Jersey?
Yes. Yep.
And do you travel throughout New Jersey? Where do you guys travel?
Everywhere. Tri-state area. Yeah. We've got Connecticut, Pennsylvania, pretty much anywhere. I would probably say within a 2-hour vicinity.
Okay.
We've had shuttle buses obviously go to Washington, Boston, all that, but for a lead car and things like that, I would do like a 2-hour vicinity, but we have gone more.
And it right now is prom season, wedding season. I'm sure you guys are super busy. How far in advance do you advise couples to book you for their wedding? And I'm sure it's seasonal, but depending on,
it is seasonal. I would say like April to June, and September, October, I would probably say are our busiest months. So it is seasonal, but I'm finding more people getting married out of season and more people getting married during the week than I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, yeah, it's really, it's crazy. In the beginning of the year, we sold out of so many days for this year that there's very little days that I have left. So to answer that question, my best advice would be the minute you know what you want, do not wait and book that car, especially if it's a lead car, because we sell out of lead cars so quickly. Yeah. And we're one of the very few people that have the Rolls Royce printing that we have, that design is pretty rare. So it's very difficult to find that specific design. So yeah, I would definitely say to book as soon as possible. And booking doesn't mean you have to know every single vehicle that you want, because they're like, how the heck am I going to book? Like, I don't know how many guests I'm going to have, or, the logistics of where the photos are going to be, Yep. But if like you're getting married on, I don't know, August 16th. If you're getting married August 16th and you know that this is your venue and this is your church, and you definitely want a Rolls Royce, then book the Rolls Royce. We can figure out the logistics of whether it's 1 or 2 o'clock, or, we can figure that out as we get closer. But definitely book as soon as you can. On average, people normally book the most 2 to 2.5 years ahead, and the least. I've seen people call me literally last minute for a wedding that's happening next weekend, but not because they neglected it, and sometimes we could accommodate, but honestly, when it's last minute, 90% of the time we cannot, but we do our best. And if we cannot accommodate, we will advise you other places that you can go to that would help you. And I would help you talk to other affiliates to help you get a car for your day, but yeah, there's
always that day. There's always the one day of the month that, if you had 5 times the amount of staff and things, you could do everybody. But it's like that one day. It's like the other days are good too, but why that one day?
And it's so great to have somebody to network with. Celia and I say that all the time. Yeah. I'm located at the Jersey Shore. I'm south and she's up north. Neither one of us are going to go. I'm not driving up to New York. That would
I'm definitely not going to the shore.
So, or if we're booked, or we can recommend each other, and that's a great great thing to network with other vendors that way, and be able
100%.
to advise people. I love your vintage and modern, your vintage cars, and I love when I see them at a venue. Not only is it a way to arrive in style, they make for a great photo op. And I want to tell our listeners, there's a lot of pictures of them on your website, and it is danarolimo.com. We will be putting in a link to that, and a link to you guys in the social media sites, so you can click right on it and go, and also go to your Instagram site. But what is your most popular vintage vehicle?
The Rolls-Royce printing.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the Rolls-Royce printing. We have photos. Some photos that the couples have given us are, they're breathtaking. Oh my gosh! I mean, it gives me goosebumps to see some of them. Honestly, it's as I said in the beginning, it's not renting a limo; it's renting the experience.
The experience is a beautiful photo op. I love the chauffeur, with the white glove treatment and the red carpet. What fun!
Yeah, and if they want like the gold sanctions, we'll put them out. What I'm seeing a lot of people do as well is they'll rent the gold, they'll rent the Rolls-Royce printing, and they'll ask us after the photo op to have the car stay there and put out the red carpet. So if guests want to take a photo with the vehicle.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so we do that as well. Pretty much whatever you guys want,
Yeah.
No, that's a great idea. I like the, we love having reliable, easy to work with, customer service oriented people on this end of on that end of the day, because it makes everybody else's life easier. Nobody's worried about getting from here to there, or the guests here or there yet. It's just at the beginning of the day, just having less to worry about is just such a great thing.
Yeah, it's really important. And I had a phone call. I had a phone call last night, and it was just so upsetting for me because I don't know what is in the thought of these people in the service industry. If you're going to behave like this, then don't be in it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, it's just not. It's for me. It's like almost not acceptable because these people are spending so much money on their weddings. There's such a level of stress. I feel like it's not a wedding anymore. It's now become productions of who could outdo the next person.
Absolutely.
And it should be a celebration of love. No, it should be for you, not who you're going to impress. But anyway, so this person called yesterday and he was so distraught. I was like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? He's like, well, this is a situation. He goes, I had, seen you at the expo, and in my gut, I really wanted to go with you. But, my bride was like, listen, this other company is a lot cheaper and we can use that, extra, whatever the amount of money is somewhere else. So, for him, it seemed the best economical solution. So he's like, listen, so we went with them and we started doing the contract and going through everything. And he goes, it's been 2 months. I can't get in touch with them. It's back.
God.
Phone tagging. I still don't have, they gave me the contract. And then once they gave me the price, all of a sudden the contract had like $400 extra on, on each contract. It was like these random fees and whatever. And it ended up being more money. And meanwhile, I'm thinking in my head, yeah, I know. Cause that's what some of them do.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's like, could you please help me? I was like, don't worry about it. And one of the cars we didn't have, but the other 3 cars we did. So I took care of the other 3 cars. The car we didn't have, I talked to an affiliate who we work with. We partner with some incredible affiliates, and I made sure he had that car for the day. So it's really important to work with the client. It really is. And it's so important for the other people in the industry who are not, catering to them or giving them that customer service. It's important that they do, because it really does ruin their experience and create a level of stress that they don't need.
Yeah, it's true. People tend to, they look at the big things, obviously the reception hall first and then the big things. And, the little things are just as important, because if something, if your makeup artist is late or your limo is lost, or, that, I don't understand that at all. I've had weddings where
I'm be lost.
How can you be lost? You go to the
GPS
all the time. You go from here to there. I know you do. How can this person be lost with 27 other people in the shuttle. How is that possible?
I don't know.
I wanted to say that I love you have these party buses, and you have 3 different ones to accommodate different amount of people. I am at the shore here, and something that's become very popular are micro weddings or smaller weddings. And I have done this has been happening a couple of times now. Even if you're having a micro wedding, let's say you're having like 30 people and you're coming to the beach, you should always use a bus because there's no parking, absolutely no parking at the beach.
Exactly.
So, but people are taking the extra money that they save having a micro wedding and just going all out, it allows them to do this. So everybody arrives on the party bus together, hop off on the beach, have their ceremony on the beach, jump in the party bus again and head to the venue. And it's really a way to make your micro wedding, a little more special. It's a lot of fun.
It is so fun.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Places
we've
that
done
you
that.
can't park. You need to have that. The party bus can drop you off, go park on a side street until it's time to come pick you up,
Yeah. I mean, we've done that. It's definitely worth it. And it's a really fun experience, and whatever is they need, I mean, we accommodate our team and our staff. It's a family run company. You met one of our chauffeurs. We all put 100% and go above and beyond with whatever the client needs. We love what we do. Like we it's a relationship that we're building with the client. That's they're not just a one-time client for us. We want them to come back. We want to enjoy not just your engagement or your bachelor party and then eventually your wedding, but we want to enjoy your birthdays and all the other celebrations in your life. So it is really important. And like you said, like the one-stop weddings, the best thing to do, especially if there's no parking, is number one, so everyone can drink and enjoy their time together. So everyone can be together, enjoying the experience of the same vehicle, and not have to worry about parking or driving, or leave it up to us. Let us handle logistics for you.
I want to say your dedication to customer service is reflected in your fabulous reviews. You have well over 400 reviews on just on one site alone. I'm sure they're throughout, and they're all amazing. You could spend so much time reading reviews on your customer service and your chauffeurs and just how great your business is. Again, I want to tell our listeners that we will be sharing your website, danarolimo.com, as well as Danaro Limo on Instagram, so that they can reach you. You can go right to your website and contact you and speak to Tina, and she can help you figure it all out.
Definitely. Anyone's more than welcome to call anytime. And all my couples know, if you call and the owner, James, who's absolutely incredible, if he answers the phone and I'm not there, you're more than welcome to just tell him, may I please speak to Tina? And he knows 24/7 I'm available for you. He'll call me and I'll call you right back.
Fantastic. Great. Tina, thank you so much for joining us. It was great to talk to you, and I hope to see you soon.
Definitely. I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tina.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes.